that with Mahomes. Push the pocket inside. Get A-gap pressure. So I'm looking at Eric Armstead. I'm looking at Javon Hargrave. Hey, Javon, this fan base will forget about some of the no-shows that we see this season. We'll forget all about it if you have a monster game against Patrick Mahomes. And we saw him last year against Patrick Mahomes, and guess what? The Eagles didn't get pressure on Patrick Mahomes last season.
No doubt they didn't. And, I was listening to Nick Bosa yesterday, and I'm not sure if we ended up cutting the sound or not, but he was talking about, the last matchup against Kansas City. And I personally believe that Nick Bosa channeled his inner Phil Jackson here by basically saying the loud stuff that you should keep quiet out loud to put it into the referee's hands and into their lap. This is what you should do. I've been begging Steve Kerr to talk about this with Steph and Clay and the off-ball physicality. You have to address it before the games happen so that the referees are aware of it. And I love that he said this.
Taylor and Smith, when you watch them on film, Taylor's, I think, leads the NFL. Ton of penalties. Anything stand out when you watch them?
They hold a lot.
They hold a lot. They hold a lot. And then here's what he said about 2019.
Yeah.
Well, you were pretty adamant after that game that you weren't going to watch it. You didn't watch it. Have you indeed watched it or been forced to watch it this week?
Yeah, no, I've watched it. Yeah.
What kind of feelings did that bring up?
It's definitely just I start sweating a little bit. But it's fun to watch. I mean, that's a Super Bowl defense right there, and we got to take a page out of that if we want to go win it.
Were you held on the Wasp play?
On which one?
The 3rd and 15.
I don't think they had the back view, but yeah, I'm sure. It's Eric Fisher.
I mean, 3rd and 15. I mean, Jesus, 3rd and 15. Why? I mean, are you really going to do this to me on a Friday as we're getting ready for the Super Bowl? 3rd and 15.
Chiefs need some Mahomes magic. Launches down the middle. Hill, open, caught, and they get it. Kansas City, the big play.
Now, I wish we would have cut Aikman leading up to that play because Troy Aikman was in the booth, and he was saying, boy, Mahomes really needs a big play. You're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, blah, 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 2010, nothing's going your way, and then, boom.
Chiefs need some Mahomes magic. Launches down the middle. Hill, open, caught, and they get it. Kansas City, the big play.
I don't understand to this day how there wasn't one hold called in that entire Super Bowl.
I don't know what my boy Emmanuel Mosley was doing. So the players of the Kansas City Chiefs described this play as Jet Chip Wasp. Jet Chip Wasp was the name of the play, and it was a turning point.
Of all the plays in 49er history, and I'll even throw the Sherman play in there, if you could take away one play from an opponent.
It's 3rd and 15.
Is it 3rd and 15?
It's 3rd and 15.
Over all of them.
All time?
That's what I'm saying.
I've got a lot of plays I can take away.
I mean, this was a Super Bowl.
Leonard Marshall hitting Joe Montana. I wish I could take that play away.
And they would have won 3 in a row.
Roger Craig fumbling in that same game to give the Giants the ball back, and Matt Barr makes a field goal from 44 yards. I wish I could take that play back. Kyle Williams, which play can I take away from him? The first fumble, punt fumble, the second punt fumble, the fumble on the reverse. I would have taken away numerous plays.
The Bradshaw fumble, right? That should have been.
The 3-play sequence, the 4-play sequence against the Baltimore Ravens. Love to take back a lot of plays.
Jacoby Jones's touchdown return that one, too.
Yeah, to open up the second half.
Yeah, well, Bruce Miller was held on that.
Well, they call it. They love to play that game. Jerome Boger was the referee in that game. He was a crew chief, and I remember leading up to it. True story. A couple weeks out from the Super Bowl, there was other officials complaining about Boger getting the assignment for that Super Bowl because that crew was graded so low. And I remember a nugget in that report was saying that, Jerome Boger usually lets the guys play. A lot of teams get away with a lot of stuff. It was leading up to, I was like, oh boy, this is not good. And it got swept under the rug. There's a Raven who should have been kicked out. He threw a punch at a Niner right in front of the referee. And the rest did nothing. They didn't kick him out the game or anything. So it was a joke.
3rd and 15 for me in that Super Bowl, that might be. I don't know. Man, I'd really have to sit through them all. That might be the one, though.
Well, I tell you what.
That might be the one.
One sequence in that game that drove me crazy was the Niners not call a timeout before the half. Here's Troy Aikman.
Last time the 49ers, Troy had the ball, Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, had guys up at the line of scrimmage trying to stop the run, but San Francisco still ran it.
Yeah, they did. Interesting decision by Kyle Shanahan not electing to use a timeout. They would have had a minute and 30, minute and 35 seconds with 2 timeouts had they have done it. Instead, they hold all 3, but just 59 seconds.
1 for 5 on third downs. The top third down offense in the league this year. 3rd and 14. Mahomes, screen, Williams, swallowed up on Kansas City's side of midfield. Jaquiski Tart making that play for the 49ers. He was not alone, and Robert Saleh happy with the effort by his group.
Pretty good stop right there, and San Francisco not using a timeout. They're letting the clock run. They're going to preserve all 3, but just a great defensive stop. They rally to the football and make a play to force the punt.
I mean, just you coach scared. Shanahan coached Titan scared in that football game.
I don't think it was his best work, but like in retrospect, that was one of the most prolific offenses any of us has ever seen. Like Tyreek and Kelsey.
Okay, and?
I mean, well, he dropped like 50 touchdowns a year prior.
If it's the most prolific offense.
No, I'm saying like they were trying to limit. They didn't want to go 3 and out quickly and give the ball back to them because they were suffocating them on defense.
On the flip side, you need to score.
No doubt.
You're going to need more than 20 points to win this football game.
So do you think it was risk averse in that situation?
Yeah, it was very, very questionable. Maybe he didn't trust Jimmy, but at the same time, it's the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl. You got to be aggressive, and you're receiving the second half kickoff.
I know. I was so conflicted even at the time. I kind of defended it because I was so scared of that offense.
I was going crazy. I was losing my mind. Losing my mind. Like John Lynch in the suite.
I'm not sure there's a catch-all situation against that offense. Like I really did see both sides of the coin.
Yeah, I didn't. It's a Football Friday brought to you by Flag and Anthem. I'm still like
I know you were furious in real time.
It gives me
but there was an OPI on Kittle on that drive.